OneNet is approaching its end. It was a huge research project with more than 70 partners, and it was a research project with several demonstrators, so application on the field across various countries in Europe. And each of these demonstrators was addressing one or another aspect of coordinated and integrated markets for electricity and for ancillary services. José Pablo, you led the work package 11, which was responsible for the assessment of the results of these demonstrators and to, let's say, derive the insights that the project will then feed into the debate on the implementation of a European-wide market and also interoperable platforms that can support those markets. So, given your role, it's natural for me to ask you, what are, in your view, the key results that you derived while, let's say, assessing all the demos in OneNet? What strike the most in your mind?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for this question and the opportunity to explain these key results. Well, the easiest answer is that no solution fits all. That's great about OneNet because there are so much a variety of demonstrators that everyone puts different aspects and bring different contexts into place. That's like a general one, and specifically on the market design point of view, there were different ways of organizing flexibility markets and different elements that were tested in the project. And then on the interoperability, thanks to the OneNet connector, it was possible to exchange data among different platforms for different purposes. So getting more into the details, in the market point of view, for instance, we test different bidding formats, different products that can be used for different services, and we show that this was possible to integrate market as well by bid forwarding, so submitting unused bids from one market to another, and this way we increase the value stacking of customers and the flexibility. And on the data and the interoperability aspect, the OneNet system contributed to different market phases as well. So from the pre-qualification, registration, market bids, market results, and also for the settlement, how on all these different processes data can be transferred, and the system was able to support all these transactions.
Thank you. But then reflecting on such a challenging, let's say, research experience, what would be the key lessons learned, both, I would say, positive and negative, this successful aspects, or also things to improve in the next research project? What could you tell us about this?
Yeah, well, the positive of such a big project is that, as I said, we have so many contexts, very different ones. And also another aspect that we need to further elaborate, and thanks to the OneNet system, was on improving the customer engagement and the customer journey, let's say, throughout the project. So in the first case, having a lot of this diversity, this translates, for instance, in different needs from the system operator. On one side, also different network configuration. So in some cases, we include low voltage, medium voltage, high voltage network, and the type of needs and solutions, they are different. And as well from the customer, the kind of resources that are connected, also it's very important to have a diversity of them, because each one of them has some specific needs. It's not the same that it's just a generator, or is it a demand on a storage. So for instance, demand and storage, they have this aspect about rebound effects. So you have to, if you want to reduce consumption, then later it needs to be increased. And how to manage that is not straightforward, because you need to include that into the market and put these limitations when designing also the product. And the way to one aspect that we can definitely improve is on the customer journey. We made a lot of effort, and there were very successful cases where a lot of customers were engaged, but we realized that this is a very complex task, and we need to have defining the strategies from the beginning, making the evaluation throughout the project, and finally assess the recommendations and how they work throughout the project. So this is my takeaway of how, for next projects, that indeed there are some projects looking at all these customer journey, value proposition, different value proposition for customers and so on, which can be improved and make it better in a way.
Thank you. So if I can summarize, one of the beautiful things of OneNet was that you kind of have a laboratory where you have different demos, different parameters. You could set different parameters, and so to test your ideas under different conditions. At the same time, maybe the other an aspect to be improved is maybe you need more social scientists or someone that does not have just the engineering skills, but also take into account the specificities of involving people, companies on the consumer side. Thank you very much, José Pablo.
Thank you, Nicolò.
You.